right. Up next, we've got another tech talk for you. It's Chain Abstraction and Ripples in the Matrix. That's what we are talking about. And I would like to welcome Mayur Relekar to the stage, founder and CEO of Arcana Network, who is going to be our next presenter. So let's give him a nice welcome this morning, shall we?
Hello. GM, everybody. I'm Mayur. I'm the founder and CEO here at Arcana. I'm here to talk about what is perhaps one of the hottest topics in the Web3/crypto space, which is chain abstraction. There's a lot of hype, there's narrative being built up. The thing is this hype real? Is there any real value to it? Or is this another one of those things that happens every cycle, comes, goes? I'm here to talk about what chain abstraction is. In fact, if you can go over to the next slide, what we'll do is we'll not talk about it, we'll actually show it to you guys in action, right? So we're going to nicely raw dog this, do a live demo right now for all of you guys to see here, and hopefully you guys will be able to appreciate it. How many of you guys trade crypto? Anyone? Right? A bunch of people. So how many of you guys have a self-custody wallet? Like a wallet, MetaMask? Most people, right? I'm sure most of you also trade across different chains, right? I would assume that's what happens. So in the process of actually trading across all of these different chains, you are going to end up with your assets actually fragmented across all of these different chains. You want to trade on Ethereum, on Solana, on Optimism, Arbitrum, etc., and there are just so many chains. There are like 50 roll-ups as we speak today, live. And there are probably going to be another 50 more by the end of this quarter. And we are estimating hundreds or even thousands of chains over the next couple of years. So just imagine the state of hell that's going to be your wallet, where your assets are going to be absolutely fragmented across all over the place. But fear not, chain abstraction is here, and we are here to kind of show you how all of this would work. So what we have here is essentially a wallet, which is very much like MetaMask, right? MetaMask, Rabby, whatever it is that you guys like, Trust Wallet, etc. The difference, however, is that, as you can see, there is no chain selector, right? I don't have to select a chain because this is chain abstraction. We're hiding away the chain from the user, right? But don't worry, you'll still get to see it. What we further do is we take all your assets and we aggregate the balances across all the different chains that those assets are on. As you can see here, I have about 19.2 USDC across 4 different chains: OP, Arbitrum, Polygon, Base, etc. Right? So we consolidate all of that and show it to you in the wallet. But showing is one thing. What would be really great is if I could spend all of that, right? So typically, if you wanted to spend all of these assets together, you would have to bridge them over one by one, right? So let's see what that would mean typically. So I'm on Aave here. Aave, as you guys may well know, is probably the most used lending borrowing platform in the crypto space. And I'm on Aave's Arbitrum market, right? And so I actually came here because I want to lend some USDC, because it's giving me pretty decent APY, 4.37. Okay, I want to do this. But I have only 4 USDC in my Arbitrum, right? But what we are able to do with chain abstraction is tell Aave, no, the user doesn't have just 4 USDC. He actually has 19.28, right? That's step 1. Now, if I hit supply over here, right, there is no way I should be able to supply more than 4 USDC until and unless I bridge assets over from a different chain to Arbitrum. But let's see what happens if I try and supply, let's say, 6, right? I hit supply, and what we do is we'll show the user an intent screen, which basically says, okay, you're on Aave, you want to spend 6 USDC on Arbitrum. You don't have it, you have 4, but you have 2 more USDC on OP, and basically for a fee, we can make all of this happen for you. So I see the fee and I'm like, yeah, that's a pretty good fee. I don't mind paying 6 cents for this. I confirm, and once I confirm, my request that I just showed you guys was verified. The liquidity that I'm missing on the Arbitrum side gets supplied down to me, and then my transaction is actually submitted to Aave itself. So basically what we managed to do is, in one button click, allow the user to spend their aggregated balances on an app like Aave in a matter of a few seconds. One button click, few seconds, job done, right? So this is essentially what chain abstraction is. The ability, if you can switch over to the, yeah, next slide. Yeah, the ability to be able to unify balances for users, allow them to spend those unified balances anywhere, and do so near instantly. This is a 10x unlock in experience. This is going to be the absolute game changer, which will allow existing users to lose all the headaches of all their fragmented liquidity, and also for new users who come in and not need to worry about what chain an app is on. So this sort of unlock, I'm saying 10x, but does it really mean 10x, right? So I'm here to explain how this is really a 10x experience, and consequently, it's causing all of these ripples in the so-called crypto matrix, right? So next slide. So the first set of people this obviously affects is the users, and it affects the user experience, as we've just seen. You can go forward. So why this makes sense is that for crypto natives who have these assets and want to trade and want to use DeFi and do all of these sorts of things, it basically removes this friction of having to bridge every time you need to do anything, right? If there is, just imagine someone came up to you and said, hey, there is this meme coin on Solana that's absolutely going to rip. It's going to take off, and I'd suggest you get in, right? We all have that one friend who gives us these annoying little tips, and we end up wanting to buy this meme coin. But you have all of your assets are in ETH, right? What are you going to do? So now you have to figure out a way to consolidate all those assets into Solana, which means a lot of bridging, waiting for a lot of time. In the meantime, this meme coin that green candle is just going up, 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 up. Your price of entry is going up. But imagine if you had something like this, where you are able to basically click one button, matter of a few seconds, someone takes your ETH, supplies you the Solana for a particular price that you're okay with, and you're able to go ahead and do all of this in a matter of a few seconds, right? So this is why this appeals to crypto natives. For new people, this will feel familiar, because as all of us who use applications today in the Web2 space traditionally, we are not worried about where an application is built, right? We are not worried about, I can sit here in Dubai and buy stuff from Alibaba, who's charging me in Chinese yuan, and I'm paying in UAE dirhams. But I don't need to care about any of that, right? I just use an app on the internet, I pay with my credit card or debit card, and that's it, it just gets taken care of. So this is the experience that we'll be able to bring, because basically what this means is that an application can basically build anywhere, and users can come to them with any sort of assets and be able to spend it on their applications. We'll talk a bit more about that. And if you can move forward. So the next set of people this actually affects, as a result of this user experience, is developers and the apps that they build, right? So what you see right now is every popular app will build a clone of their app on every chain. So you have Uniswap that will exist on every chain that there is. Now, you have Aave that will get built on one chain and then get replicated on every chain there is. And this is expected of every new app that comes into the space. You just basically have to build an app. If it gets successful, then you have to basically rinse, repeat, copy, paste, and make these apps available across all these different chains. Because if you don't do it, someone else will, right? Because there is always someone out there who's basically saying, I'm going to fork this this piece of code and launch it on Binance chain, right? Because this is so popular, and I become like the Aave of Binance, or I become the Aave of Sui, or whatever it may be. And you are expected to kind of end up making these copies. But you don't need to anymore, because basically you can go to a chain, build your application there, but the users can actually come with assets from any chain and spend it on you. So now developers don't have to go around trying to build copies of their apps on these different chains because someone else will. The benefit of trying to build copies of apps on basically a newly launched chain goes away, so that moat does not exist anymore. So end of the day, developers go to chains that actually suit their needs, their business, technical, strategic needs, build there, and the users come to them like it should be. You can move on. So now with developers actually choosing to build wherever they want to, building in one place, what's going to happen is this is going to have downstream effects to the chains and the TVL games that we see in existence today. So what this means for chains, essentially, if you can move forward, is that chains end up now becoming absolute commodity, right? So I don't need to go and build clones on every new chain that launches. I build on Polygon, and then ZK Sync launches, oh, I need to build there. And then Linear launches, oh, I need to build there. No, you just build on one place. And now the chains will actually have to impress developers with their differentiation, with things like their technological superiority. Are they faster, cheaper, more decentralized, etc.? Do they provide a bunch of features like privacy, liquidity access, a novel account model, those sorts of things? Or we'll throw money at the problem and say, hey, here's a bunch of money, here is access to a bunch of networks, I will introduce you to VCs, whatever it may be. But chains will have to really go after developers and stop going after users, because that really shouldn't be their job, right? The way a chain should make money is essentially through the apps that get built on it. And if they're able to impress the best developers through something like this, then you're going to end up seeing all of this happen. Otherwise, one chain is the same as the next chain, is the same as the next chain, as it really is today. So there's really no differentiation. And overall, what's going to happen is that we're going to start seeing this big shift where value will start accruing to applications and not so much the chains themselves, because unless the apps that are getting built on these chains are valuable, none of these chains are really going to make any revenue downstream, right? So this is what is going to be the long tail of what we're building right now today. Essentially, a very small, almost simple tweak to the experience of users is going to have massive downstream effects. And if this is something that interests any of you guys out here, happy to get connected. I'm on Telegram. This is my ID. You can DM me. We are on Arcana Network. All our socials will be there. Me and my colleague Ajay, we're going to be at a booth right outside here. So if you want to discuss any of the downstream effects, or how this is going to influence applications, developers, chains, etc., or simply if you feel like this could be useful for your own app, basically a way for people to come with any sort of currency and spend it on your app, then you should get connected with us. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much, Mayur. Thank you so much for your presentation. Hope you have a great day. Wonderful stuff.